everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Talking Feds here. Brad, we got the full cast finally back here as we figured out a great time to get us all in here, which is really great.
Yes,
even though
sir.
I feel like some of us are dragging this early morning for me, at least. What about everybody else?
I am literally hanging by a thread here in terms of my consciousness right now. So if you guys hear a big fat ass, just assume that big Danny Meltzer has taken a fall for the worst. But that's just me. I don't know about everyone else here.
It's nighttime here for me. How about you, Luke?
Yeah, well, Danny and I, we kind of kept each other awake for the last hour here before starting the podcast because, you know, my sleep rhythm got kind of screwed up again. We had like a long booking call like a couple of days ago. So,
yes, long heated debate of ideals and philosophies regarding storytelling and wrestling, but we won't get into details there because that would require spoilers, and we got to refrain from that. You know what I'm saying? But
right,
that's before. But we're here in the now, as much as some of us would like to be, sound asleep. But we're here for the people. So, Talking Feds, brand new episode. What's in store for us, guys?
Well, Elite 89 just came out. What are you guys' thoughts?
Man, Elite 89, man, I don't know. It's just like, it's just so immaculate to just see the double jointed elbows being utilized even more and more and more and more. Though there's some figures that refuse to use them, I guess, for whatever
Nia
reason.
Jax, doesn't have any double jointed arms, and I believe her knees don't have double joints either.
Which
looks weird.
If that's the case, this is no better than the damn New Japan freaking figures that they came out with. Those are just horrible in my opinion. Like, I still kind of like hold a grudge against those. As far as like the new stuff goes, that Damian Priest definite must get. That 100%. Dominic Mysterio, that looks wonderful as well. Bobby Lashley.
Is it just me? Whenever I see Damian Priest, he looks like an avatar? Like his hair
from the movie.
He looks wild, bro. Yeah.
It's funny how you say that because that apparently is still the most money-making movie of all time for some reason. And you know what the damnedest thing is?
They re-released it to beat Endgame.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
You know what the damnedest thing is? I still don't remember what the hell happened in that movie. Like the plot and the characters and all stuff.
It's pretty damn good, but it's not all time best movie.
It's overrated.
Ever. Yeah, it's overrated for sure.
Yeah, like I don't remember a single thing in that movie. But regardless of that, I can kind of see that, especially because I'm looking at him now. His face, especially, he kind of does look like a cat man. and some kind of
the figure slaps titties. Like, it slaps all the titties.
100%,
I only have like one actual kind of criticism for it is like the wrist gauntlets look kind of chunky. I think I'd prefer if it were just painted on, honestly. But I get it.
They're definitely chunky, and it's weird that like we're seeing this edge mold come back for the legs. Like, they're using the edge mold, which because he has the long legs there, which is
really. See, I would have never guessed that. I'm not that much of a.
I thought it was like a fully new tooled thing.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it's edge legs with some stuff detailed sculpt. It looks like on the legs, which is impressive. So that'll be.
But I think
it'll be on ball joints, but it should still be a pretty damn good figure. Even though I'm not a Priest fan, the figure looks really damn good. And
you don't like Priest?
No, I'm not a big Priest fan. I like him in the ring. Like, I think he's a good wrestler and stuff. I remember he used to be like Baron Corbin 2.0 for me. And then
really, like back
I
when he
feel
was
like
in
he's
NXT?
more charismatic than Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin's kind of look is kind of bland.
Yeah,
although he can talk on the mic.
When he wrestled, when he had his feud with Finn on NXT, that gave me like a really good insight on him a lot more. And then after that, I was like, damn, maybe this guy is pretty freaking good. I'm still not like a huge fan of him, but he can go in the ring, and he was pretty entertaining with Bad Bunny. And I think he's got a lot of charisma, and he's got a great look, and he's good in the ring. I just think they need to flesh out like who he is and what his character is, because like they really haven't done anything to really tell us who he is. Yeah, I agree, and I don't like him as a babyface. Really, like it's weird.
Yeah,
he was.
I remember. Yeah, I remember the old days when he was in NXT. He kind of had this gimmick of like this fucking this Johnny Cage kind of thing, where he had like a bunch of porn stars in his fucking jacuzzi after he won a match and shit. And I was like, you know what, we need more of that, because that's kind of different. That's like something that I imagine him being like. Because like I don't know, I've heard the comparisons of like you ever seen like the Blade movies, like one of those like them sex vampires or something like that. He kind of looked like that back in the day in like NXT and stuff, but now he's just like, I don't know. There's not much to him. I mean, like, yeah, he's great in the ring. He can put on a fantastic matchup, but when it comes to like a character, there's not really much there. It's just kind of cookie cutter, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know if it's really his fault. I think it's just WWE not really caring to tell us who he is,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another thing about Elite 89, like you said, the double jointed elbows are fantastic. Like I can't wait to see. I don't think I've used
they get really loose though.
They do.
The reins I'm using for my next match, like his elbows get really loose. You can't like hook the spear when you want to.
Yeah,
I'm trying to hold them together. Yeah,
trial and error is going to be the same thing. Like with AEW figures, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, figure out what kind of quality plastic they can upgrade, and all those different things when it comes to.
It's a process.
Makes it difficult.
It's a process, but like the difference here is like Mattel, they only get better as time goes by. With Jazzwares, it seems like they just get worse. like with these newer figures, like I just got the unmatched Kenny. I know that's pretty old figure now because I don't have fucking sponsorships from Ringside where they just send me shit. I had to go out in the wild to find it, and luckily for me, it was there along with two Gold Dusts or Dustin Rhodes if you want to be an AEW mark. But who the hell wants that figure, guys? Like honestly,
it's trash, bro.
I mean, it looks great.
It looks great, but it's absolute trash in the hand, as MDT would say.
Yeah, good luck fucking trying to film with that, kiddies. But I don't know how the ball joints are on this new Kenny, but I hope they're good.
It's pretty much the same as Series 4.
Oh, in that case, it should be fine. But
should be great.
Here's hoping that like the rest of the lineup for AEW stuff, which seems interesting enough, those Revival or FTR figures look like garbage. What's I mean, they do like I saw this dude. He did like a fix up of them where he just put the Mattel heads on it, and it looked so much better. It looks so much better.
Yeah. I plan on doing that same thing. And another thing about switches and stuff like that is actually the new Elite 89 Dom looks like it's using a Seth Rollins crotch and lower. So if you want to torso swap that guy, give Rollins a little bit of a different look. There you go. You could do that.
Yeah, that Dom looks so awesome. I'm glad they went with that gear. It would have been good if he was the Chase and they would have done his debut gear in the blue, white, and black.
Yeah, I
think that would have been cool.
Why the hell did you Nia Jax?
No offense, Nia, but get out of here.
No, all the offense to Nia Jax. There's no respect. This is the Nia Jax slander army. Okay.
How does Dom not get the Chase? Come on now.
Yeah, like the worst wrestler of the bunch, and that's the worst wrestler of the bunch gets the Chase figure.
Hey, head sculpt looks great though.
It's the best looking Nia Jax they ever made.
Also, though, we have to slander Mattel right here because this figure is the exact same from her first basic except for the head sculpt. Jesus Christ, can we get something different?
Yeah.
Apparently there's no double joint. Oh my God, I'm seeing it now. It really doesn't have a double joint knees. Oh my God. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no.
Yeah, dude, and the figure looks great. It's just Jesus Christ, man. That was forever ago. That was 2-3 years ago, right? Am I tripping?
I don't even know at this point. It feels like decades ago, honestly. But,
and her last Elite was Elite 65. That was 25 series ago almost.
2019.
Jesus. Wait, you talk about wait a minute. You talking about the one that had the all the different heads and stuff?
Multiple heads. Yeah.
That was Elite 65.
Oh my God. Oh no, Mattel, you really dropped the ball on this selection here. You could have you could have at the very least improved the Nia Jax mold and everything like that. But no, we just slap the old figure, get a new head sculpt on it. That's actually the best they've ever made for her. But then we just insult all the people again and just have it be the chase. Have that chick be the chick when it should have been Dominic, or it could have been Damian, or it could have even been like Drew McIntyre. I don't know.
I'm pumped for Lashley, man. I'm so happy to have a non-smiling Bobby Lashley, because he's a heel. He should be aggressive when he's wrestling in figure form, but he's always smiling, which pisses me off. But I'm so happy to get a Lashley in long pants and Drew McIntyre with a sword. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that Drew McIntyre that Drew McIntyre looks godly. Like, I think that's the best Drew McIntyre they've ever made. If I would have got it, I think I would still get the old head sculpt, because like I prefer Drew McIntyre as a heel rather than like a baby.
Well, I think you can interchange it.
Yeah, you can.
Now with these new elites, you can interchange the heads, which looks
thank
really cool.
Jeebus above the heavens for that.
I like Drew as a heel too. Like anytime he's been on TV for me, he's been a heel too. I like the heel Drew, and I also like or one thing I was going to say about the Bobby is they actually gave him his accurate boot mold. They gave it's a new boot mold. We'd never seen that before.
Oh, yes. And, even though I do love the new Bobby Lashley, I still think Jax did the best Bobby Lashley head sculpts. Honestly,
the screaming one.
Yeah,
right?
That screaming one, the grimacing one, honestly, like if
the smiling one is good.
No, it looks just like Bobby Lashley. I know that, but like, yeah.
It's good like photo op Bobby, good photo op Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then you get Sergeant Slaughter, but who fucking cares? So moving on.
Well, I want to know what Lucas has to say about it, because he didn't really chime in there. What do you think about Elite 89?
Oh, I think the Damian Priest is really good. I bought that. I got the Dominic Mysterio.
Didn't you guys make like a custom of this attire?
Of Damian Priest?
Yeah,
I think so. I think so. We did. Yeah.
How does this one compare?
To be honest, obviously the head scan is obviously better because they scanned him and stuff.
I think you guys had the better sculpt, like body mold for it. I don't know. It just kind of looked more appealing to me. The way you guys did
the torso. Yeah, I got a custom from Luke with the white attire. So maybe I'll get a head scan, the Elite 89, pop it on.
Just pop that.
It'd be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little action. Surgery action.
Yeah,
might be.
Oh, yes. It was gonna steal your whole gimmick there, Trey. We're all just gonna steal the Trey gimmicks. Like, I'm gonna do the horror fucking NECA unboxing.
He's going
video.
for it. 20 million views. Here he comes.
20 million views. Here I come. But yeah. So obviously, my wish list for this, like, is obviously Damian Priest, Dominic, Bobby, and Drew. I was gonna maybe I should just get the top talents Drew, or the one that came with like the smiling face, and all that stuff. But then I'm glad I waited on that, because this Drew looks like the Drew of all Drews. Especially with the kilt and the gauntlets and the sword. Oh, that sword! It kind of makes me
Mock, it even looks damn good with the blues coming together, which is something that I wanted to touch on real quick. I don't know why I was thinking this, but I thought this would be the new packaging. Like when we got the top picks, right? We were like, oh, new packaging. I thought that was the packaging for the top picks. So like I thought
because the very next elite line was the same box.
Yeah, the main elite line, I thought it would be like the same box but different colorway. I didn't know they were going to keep the damn blue in there the whole time.
Yeah, but these new elites, man, it kind of, I don't know, it has a weird look to it for me, like in a good way though, in a great way. But it kind of makes me feel like, I don't know, you ever go to like the movies and you see like the box office, like the little booth? It kind of looks like that to me. It's very weird, but it kind of gives me like that nostalgic feeling on a fucking toy box. I don't know.
So we're talking about packaging and the new elites and everything like that. And I don't know, before we got on here, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but we were kind of rolling through Ringside Collectibles and kind of talking about different figures and packaging. and different things like that. And we want to know some opinions down below. Is it us or just ringside exclusives have been pretty weak the past like 4 or 5 figures? And I wanted to touch on that a little bit.
Especially,
the last good one was Walter, and then it was the Edge 3-in-1. You had the Firefly Funhouse Bray, you had the NWO Steel, you had the Cactus Jack, and then now you have the Ciampa coming soon.
This garbage Tommaso Ciampa fucking figure that should just die. Honestly, that thing.
A lot of these like I just don't care about.
Trash heap.
Yeah.
You know? Like you have the wrong torso. We don't even have any new photos of this to make it look better. We still have that garbage like photo of what's it called? That the Daniel Bryan torso or the Sami Zayn torso, basically, because Sami Zayn had the chest hair and everything on it. Then we got the double jointed elbows and shit, and that's literally the only good thing about this thing. Oh, what about the head? Well, the head's useless because it's the same old head, and the headgear is also useless because we don't have the rest of the attire yet. We don't even know if it comes with the rest of the attire.
I think it's coming with a cloth entrance jacket, which could change the game. It could be like, oh damn, that's nice. You could use that for a lot of people, which I don't know if that's enough, like
at that point, yeah, you'd just be buying the shit for parts.
Yeah. The Elite 69 Ciampa was definitely superior. The head sculpt is really good, even if it is a repeat, it is a really good head sculpt. So at least you have that. Mm-hmm. But the Daniel Bryan torso makes 0 sense. I don't know. Like, it'd be different if the last one had it because it would be expected. But to have a really damn good torso and then be like, nah, that sucks.
Yeah, let's just downgrade real quick. Yeah, fuck you.
And also, this is going to have the Adam Cole baby legs, which I absolutely despise, but I understand it. And
this has to be like the worst ringside exclusive they've ever made.
No, honestly. let's not get insane because that Shield Kurt Angle was definitely
hey man, that thing brought me Bane. Okay, so don't
I mean, it's good fodder, but how the hell do you like mess that up? All you have to look at is TLC 2017 and realize that's not at all what he looked like. He had gloves on, he had a different vest, he wasn't jacked like Roman Reigns. Like, that was so stupid.
A money grab, I think that was a money grab.
I just don't understand how like fans can like realize how it actually looks and how it's supposed to look, but the people who are paid to make him don't even care about paying attention to the details or like realizing how it's supposed to look.
Yeah,
like, that's just wild to me.
That's just everything in general.
I mean, look at the Firefly Funhouse Bray is god awful. That figure is so much ass. That
literally the only reason why anyone would buy it is to just get all the puppets.
That's what it is, man. They like they could have knocked that thing out of the park, really. Like with a few minor changes, it could have been one of the better figures of the year. Like if it was kind of, the Elite 85 Bray. I love the Elite 85 Bray. I think
it was superior in every way, conceivable.
If it was literally that figure, but the right colors in the packaging of that ringside exclusive, it would have been one of the best figures of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was definitely like, here's all the puppets and that's good enough. And it's just been weird. Like, I feel like the ringside exclusives used to have like a real nostalgia pull and they used to have like a real like gravity towards them. And everybody but now
packaging, packaging for them were so good.
Yeah, now they're just
felt important. It was like, I don't know, maybe like 2016 or 17. Like they just, ever since then, they kind of dropped off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and they got kind of random too.
Yeah,
like,
that's what they are.
Just putting like you didn't know whether it was a ringside exclusive or not. It was just like a online exclusive. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing, I wouldn't even put it past them. Like if they didn't put Gronk as a fucking elite like regular release, they would have just made it a ringside exclusive.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would not put it past them to put like a Bad Bunny ringside exclusive, which I would probably actually get. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that would do really well.
They should do that.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know, man. The packaging isn't as good as it used to be, in my opinion. Like
Walter's packaging was godly. I know.
Yeah, I like the Walter packaging. I think some of them are cool. Don't get me wrong. I think the Edge, like how the Edge is in like his Titantron font, I like that a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's just the shape of the packaging. I miss like maybe it was, what year was that? Maybe 2015's packaging, or 20, I think it was early 2016 or late 2015, maybe, was the like the big square box looking ones, like the Cash-In, Rollins, and the
Shawn Michaels. That classic Shawn Michaels with the zebra print looked really cool.
Yes. I loved that packaging.
Yeah.
That was some of my favorite packaging, I think.
What's your favorite ringside exclusive, Luke?
This is hard. Probably the Straight Edge Society Punk was pretty cool.
With the mask?
Yeah.
That was a ringside exclusive? I thought that was just like a regular release.
No, that's ringside exclusive.
Yeah.
Dang, you see, like I guess I'm too young, or I just wasn't I just wasn't really paying attention that much to old ringside stuff back in the day when that thing came out.
But lately I only care about, stuff I'm going to use in the Pic Fed, and there's nothing really in these lines. Last one was Walter, obviously, so yeah.
I still haven't filmed with that figure. Is that fun to film with?
The Walter, yeah, it's pretty good to film with, other than, you kind of have like a hard time doing a big boot or whatever, something like that.
Yeah, that's my problem with it. Like, I try to do like a big boot pose, and that thing says, nope, I'm sorry.
That's the problem with the bigger figures. They can't get the leg up a lot of the time.
They can't get
it up. That's the loss.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta like. I even had to do that on this past Vindication. Like, I had to like post something and then like edit it super crazy just to get it to like fit correctly.
Yeah, that sounds annoying.
Really? Which one?
When Aleister Black hit Braun Strowman with the black mask, I had to literally put him on top of a couple WWE contracts and then edit them out.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, Did you try bending him over?
It was very
those
Braun Strowman figures, the one with the molded on tank tops.
Was he standing up?
Yeah, he was standing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Dang.
Yeah, those old Braun Strowmans with like the molded on tank tops, they were trash. Compared to like these newer ones with the new mold and such.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, there's just so many damn ones in the singlet look that it was like, Jesus Christ. Like, there's like 5 top talents, and then you have the regular line. So there was a ton of the ones in the singlet.
Yeah. Oh man.
But you mentioned it. Tell us about Vindication. Tell us how the process was filming. Now that was like what, 8 months?
Yeah,
tell us the story.
It was a long ass time. So you want me to start? I mean, I guess everybody kind of knows the behind the scenes as far as like the just the delay in filming. But as far as like when I started to get back into the filming process, I can dive into that a little bit and some of those setbacks that I faced. But
get into it.
So starting out first, when I started back filming, so what it was is I used my wife's camera that she uses for photography, and I don't know what it is, but I like the way just her base settings that she uses. I don't know what it is. I've used that camera since the beginning, and I've always liked it. Like, I want to improve it and get something a little bit different, but the way it takes photos is perfect. But she did a wedding while I was filming Vindication. So she went and did a wedding, and she got bumped or something like that, and she accidentally dropped the lens that I used to film. And if you guys know about lenses, they're like $200+ at least. Like, if you want to get a lens or a solid lens, they're very expensive. So she dropped it, and it kind of like broke on the ground. Like, if you shake it, it sounds like you're shaking a Lego set or something like that. There's something obviously wrong with it. So the lens broke, and that put a wrench in filming. But I was like, damn, bro, I can't delay this anymore. Like, I'm not going to sit here and wait on a thing. And like, I'm not going to let this set me back. So what I did was I got my mom's camera. She had a camera that she wasn't using, and I used it to finish the show, and everything's all good and dandy. It's like, oh, you got the show done. And it's like, yeah, I got the show done. But for some reason, the settings I mean, it gets a little crazy. Maybe some people know what I'm talking about, but there's two different kinds of quality images that you can use. One is raw images and one is like a JPEG, which is what I usually use. So when I filmed the show, I actually recorded literally like, I don't know, a good portion of the show in this raw format. And so when I filmed it in the raw format, I don't know what it is, but like the megapixels and the size of the images is so much bigger than a JPEG. And they looked great. Like, yeah, they were high quality, whatever. I go to plug them into my editing software that I use, and it was like crashing my software because the files were so big. And I didn't understand. I was like, why the hell is this happening? You know, so I did a little bit of investigating. It turns out that was the problem. They were raw images instead of JPEG images. So what I had to do from there is I had to pretty much plug them into like a converter website and convert them all to JPEG. Well, when I converted them to the right file, they made it look like there was a desert in my arena. Like it was real grainy. It looked like it was like warm, you know, like real yellowy, and it looked god awful. So I was like, Jesus Christ, man. Like, am I ever going to be able to edit this show? Because it would take me years to edit, you know, 1,500 pictures, you know, individually like that. Like it would take so long, and it would have been a really insane process. So just long story short, I ended up taking the raw images, plugging them into my wife's editing software, and then just resaving them as a JPEG. And that didn't drop the quality at all, really. Maybe a little, but not as big as it would have been or drastic. And finally got the show done. And it was a long process, but those were some of the things I had to overcome, and it was very frustrating, especially on top of the timeline.
Oh yeah, and what a show it was! You know, do you feel liberated? Do you feel like a huge anvil was just dropped from your shoulders just now, releasing that to all of the faithful MDT fans out there?
I'd say like I don't feel like relieved in that sense. Like, oh my God, I finally got it up. Like, yes, I do feel like that, but at the same time, I feel better about the next episode more. Like, I feel better more about what's to come than that episode.
Oh yeah. Do you feel super motivated to get the next one out now?
Yeah, I feel pretty good. I don't have that.
Great.
Like, I feel like, I don't know, the past few times I've filmed, I've felt like the last couple episodes before this one, I felt way more mentally fogged maybe to do those. So maybe now that I don't have that over me or looming over me or whatever, I feel pretty good and excited. Like, I don't know if you guys go through this too. You'll just be sitting there and you'll think about, you know, the Fed or whatever, or like posing. You're like, damn, that sounds sick as shit. I want to get in there and film right now. And I've had that a lot more, I feel like. So
yeah, that's great. That's great to hear that.
Yeah.
But as far as like the show goes, MDT Vindication episode 17, you know, feel like there are some things you very much excelled at, like the dream sequence with Finn Balor and Kenny Omega. I thought that was very well done. I love to see that shit in your Fed. I love it. I love those like kind of not so, I don't know, it's kind of like the way I do things, where it's like it's not necessarily about it being a wrestling show. It's about it being a series about the characters in a wrestling show. It's kind of like the way I look at things. And that dream sequence was a very big example of that. Very creative. Speaking of, I noticed that you've debuted the voice acting for your characters and the wrestlers in the show. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about the job you did?
Well, first of all, I appreciate the kind words. It definitely, like, it wasn't like it by no means was a perfect show. Like I immediately noticed that I messed a couple things up by accident, but the voice acting part, like I mentioned this to people in the comment section, like it was fun to try. And I think that it's something that is going to get better. You know, it's like it was the first time I did it. So I have no, like, I'm sure maybe I could find like a software to edit my voice a little bit more, or maybe I'm going to get better at the impressions. The more I do them, I can figure out a certain voice for specific people. I think that was my biggest challenge, was like Kenny Omega doesn't really have a distinct voice. Eric Bischoff doesn't have a distinct voice. Carl Anderson really doesn't have a distinct voice. So guys like that, was kind of difficult to figure out how to make them at least a little different in each way, and like kind of tweaking that and playing with their accents and stuff, and like watching promos and kind of practicing on their accents. But I felt like Bray Wyatt's was pretty decent, and then AJ Styles was pretty decent. Outside of that, lots of improvement ready to go, but it was fun to do. And I thought it would be easier than text, but it turns out it takes just as long to edit as the text does. So it's really give or take, and it's
exactly
whichever one people enjoy more, that's the one I want to do. But the overall, I would say it seems like a lot of people liked it or enjoyed it, and the show seemed to be more enjoyable using voices, and it's something that I'm gonna work to improve on and look deeper into and getting better at.
Yes, sir. There's definitely need for improvement. That's to say for everything. Not everything is like exactly the way we want it. If it were, Winter Slam would be the 3-hour show I planned it to be, and Birthday Bash would have had fucking Ricochet versus Jigsaw, but they don't. And the fact that the reality is not everything is perfect, and neither is this show, but it happens. And yes, like you said, there's definitely improvements to be made in regarding to the voice, because I talk to you a bit more often than others, and when I heard you do Kenny Omega, all I heard was Trey. And that's nothing to do against you. Of course, that was your first time ever trying to do this stuff. So there's definitely going to get better in the future. But I just thought it was a funny thought in my head watching it. I was like, oh man, I just hear your voice like a bit more often. And so like that, I just distinguished that. But one other thing that I think could use some more tweaking, some more improvements, some more of everything actually, is the sound effects in some of your matches and stuff, like the crowd effects and all that stuff. And I know you did the devastating kicks for Orange Cassidy, and those were great. But when it comes to like the sound effects of like the kicks or the running or all that, I think it could use a bit more oomph and more variety in the sound effects. And I know like sound effects are very hard to come by. So this is not anything like me blaming you or anything like that, but like for the future, for the next episode, which I am hoping to be one that blows this one out of the water, which it's going to, because I have faith in you, bro. You're gonna knock it out of the park. But with this, with the sound effects, you got to sound a bit more live, like when something happens.
Danny.
Yeah.
Let me add to that. I think the crowd noise too, there's no like crowd reactions to anything. I think it needs a little bit more life to it, because like the crowd just kind of stays the same like audio level.
Yeah.
And they need to like react a little bit more to what's going on.
Yeah, just fucking spam the pop sound effects. That's what I did, for my shit. Kind of makes it sound like an AEW joint.
All y'all's points are valid. I agree with all of them. These are things that I think about all the time, and things that I literally think about while I'm editing. And
yeah, Trey, I want to add also, like, you did improve a lot in this too. Like, you took a lot of the stuff that we've talked about on the podcast the past few weeks. Like, you edited out a lot of the strings, which looked really nice. The frame rate sped it up a bit. You did the voices. So yeah, props to you on all that.
Yes, and I barely noticed how you cut the Orange Cassidy up, and in the match.
It was that noticeable.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
So yeah, it kind of made me want to do it, but then again,
it was a big shape up.
Hell no, I'm not. I'm probably not going to do it, because it's like I only have one fucking Orange Cassidy in my entire collection, and I don't really feel like buying another one. I don't really feel like trying to look for the ends of the earth for another one. So it's like, what? Just gotta live with it, bro. Just gotta live with it up until Jeremy finds a way to actually make use of a new fucking Orange Cassidy. But
I think all y'all's points are valid, and I agree with all of them. And the show's going to continue to improve. One thing that I don't know, like, I just want it to be a lot better. And people can say, oh, it's great, but there's so much more that could be done, and like so many more things I can improve on and make it, better in every way. So we'll keep striving for that. And MDT Live should be better than this past episode, and we'll keep building on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to hear you do Roman Reigns' voice. Like I've thought about doing that, and like
who does
like it'd be tricky.
Hey, you know who actually does a pretty good Roman Reigns voice?
Who?
SMF Wrestling. And
Yeah?
I'm talking about this guy once again, but actually I watched one of his videos and it was like a promo from Roman Reigns, and I was like, yo, you know what? That's actually pretty dope. Like how he can do that. He could do a good Seth Rollins, and he could do a good Roman
Might have
Reigns.
to hit him up, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Hit
him up and hit him up for the podcast. I love to talk to that dude. I'd love him to fucking teach me how to order a pizza.
Yeah.
and that shit and all that. But yeah, voice acting is not easy. Like a lot of people start to think that like it's a very simple thing to get into. It's not. Like I had to like differentiate my voice from other characters. Like I do Bane in my stuff, and that is not an easy voice to do, especially since like even with like the little effects
you do
that
the
I
voice thing?
Yeah,
thing I sent you, the voice thing?
Yeah, I use that, and still I can barely understand a fucking thing Bane says when I'm hearing it back. So I'm like, shit, what the hell do I do now? So apparently a good way to do it is you get a Pringles can and you talk into that, and it sounds good. I think I have it right here. How about a little bit of a Bane impression for you guys right now?
Give it a go.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What should I say? Drop a promo on
Just hit us with the standard. Hit us with the standard "born in it" line.
Okay.
Darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
It's not bad. I don't think that was bad at all.
Yeah, pretty good.
Just gotta lower the pitch, I think, because before I was using like a napkin tube, and I didn't think it was really good. So my friend was like, "Oh no, use a Pringles can. We use a Pringles thing," and I was like, "Oh shoot, okay." And then boom, I didn't record it yet. I don't know how it sounds, but I guess I'll find out when I'm editing this video.
I didn't think it was that bad. Like, yeah, if you played with it a little bit, I think, what is that audio editing software? Is it Audacity or something?
Yes, that's very good. It has a lot of stuff to play with. I still don't know the full complexities of it.
Dude, I may get like a subscription to that and start playing around with that and try to knock down, like, maybe I could get like a saved filter for everybody's voice, bro. And then you can just like wrap those promos off and just talk into it.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
you know,
I'm pretty sure Audacity's free because I don't pay for it.
Oh, maybe it is free. I don't know. I'll look into it and see what effects you can get. But like, how sick would it be to have I have my Kenny Omega saved, little deal. And then I have Roman Reigns and I have all these different people. And all I got to do is click on Roman Reigns, talk normal like I'm talking to you guys. Or like, obviously you'd have to slow the pitches down and the cadence and everything. But you can play with that and then put that Roman Reigns filter on there and bam.
Speaking of Roman Reigns, I know this is kind of like a bit off topic, but you remember like that night where CM Punk debuted? I thought it was a very missed opportunity for Roman Reigns to say something on the matter because he's the heel, right? And it's like, this is Roman Reigns. Like he can't, like they won't fire him. You know what I'm saying? Like who else on their roster is going to be the Roman Reigns? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not going to happen. So
why does he need to mention him now? Like, why does he give a fuck about?
No, it's like to get the crowd fucking riled up, to get a press, to get fucking people to talk about what he said.
They're in the presence of the tribal chief. They're already riled up.
I think.
Hear the reactions he gets?
I think it would be more of like I don't know. I see Roman as like just too good to do shit like that. Like, kind of like
he doesn't even heal up on the fans. It's just like he's just got that natural it factor to him. He just talks about himself.
He reminds me of like and it's kind of crazy. Like that's kind of what everything he's doing on TV right now is what I envisioned years ago. Like that's literally what I wanted in a Roman Reigns. It's everything.
This is like the real Roman Reigns.
It's like the way I see him is like a king that everybody knows. You just don't fuck with him. Like you just can't fuck with him.
And speaking of Roman Reigns, can we talk about that garbage fire that was Extreme Rules?
Oh God.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But it was bad for reasons that are kind of like, I don't know, they're really hard to describe. Because it wasn't bad because Finn Balor was flopping on the floor. Okay, that wasn't why it was bad. That wasn't even bad.
It depends how you view wrestling. I mean,
that's what I was saying to you guys before.
Yeah.
Like it depends on how you view wrestling. If you're like a AEW fan, you like the whole sports centric kind of thing, and you don't like, the sports entertainment kind of stuff where they kind of do cinematic things, you probably won't like this. And if you're a Finn Balor fan, you really wanted to see him win, like you're obviously going to be pissed that the Demon lost. And I think at the end of the day, they were just trying to do something different and protect the Demon in defeat.
It's because the biggest criticism towards Finn Balor and the Demon is like there was literally no difference between them. The only difference was that
he gets a bit aggressive. Like I think he's worked on it a bit and he's gotten a bit better.
That was literally it. It was that.
But
he paint.
Honestly, he looked a little bit like a chump. Like he looked so small, even as the Demon against Roman Reigns. Like at the start, like they were sizing each other up, and I was like, "Wow, this guy's like really small compared to Roman Reigns." It didn't seem as intimidating.
But then, so they had to figure out something to do with him to kind of differentiate his usual matches. So they did that revival thing, which I actually liked.
I dug that, man.
I thought that was sick as shit. Like I thought he was going to win. That was really cool. I thought it was awesome. It was like kind of, I don't know, like anything they do, like, and obviously you could say like, I love AEW, no doubt, but they are missing an element of sports entertainment that I think would really help their show.
And it's not fucking Snoop Dogg doing a splash.
You don't have to go corny as shit with it. Like, I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, you have like the sports entertainment side of my Fed, and then you have the wrestling side. Like you can have a little bit of both. You can play in different things. It doesn't have to be all or nothing.
It doesn't have to be all super kick, fucking no sell, kick out at one, destroyer, dive, destroyer, another dive.
It's terrible too.
Yeah, I think that AEW is made for people who loved PWG, because I was watching a lot of PWG highlights and literally every fucking match. Literally every match, everyone's kicking out at one for like finishers or big moves, and I was like, the more you do that, the more meaningless it is. It's kind of like that, but. Now, as far as this whole Finn Balor thing, I've heard criticisms saying like, "Oh, this is so stupid" and shit like that. Okay, so why was Undertaker cool?
And I think that's the big thing is
like everything that Undertaker did with Randy Orton in 2005 is cringe, apparently by this standard. Like
what are people like specifically complaining about with this? Is it the rope thing or is it the Demon Hulk up thing?
For me, it's the rope thing. I don't have an issue with the Hulk up thing. I think that was kind of badass. I was like, okay, he's kind of revived, and it's like hard.
I liked it too.
And it
was terrible, honestly.
Oh boy,
to me, it was way more believable than like the Fiend just taking headshot, and kicking out still, instead of like you saw that it like revived him, and they didn't have to explain that right away. That's something they could literally write and explain and unravel as the character develops. They didn't have to give that. Could be like the moment where everybody realized, oh shit, how are we going to beat this thing? That's kind of
that also while it was cool and I liked it, it also creates a problem. Like, is the Demon going to do that in every match now? It's like
that's the problem with Monster.
It's going to be a bit inconsistent. And
that's why that was my biggest critique with Hell in a Cell with the Fiend, is because you can't have this Jason Voorhees motherfucker. Because like you're booking yourself into a corner.
Looking back at that Hell in a Cell thing, like looking at the story, I can appreciate it, but that's just not the story that they wanted at the time. They just wanted the Fiend to destroy Rollins and win. And like how the hell do you book the Fiend going forward when he takes all those curb stomps and can just keep moving forward? Like
you get
how the hell are you going to work with that?
You get
Well, yeah, they book
Goldberg.
themselves into a corner. That's why a lot of shit that WWE does is
They
so
do that so
illogical.
much.
Yeah, they
They
do
love to-
logical bullshit.
They love to book like the big matches, but don't know how to like wrap them up. They just want to make money with it.
And that's
a
the
big,
Just like this
know,
demon
problem.
You know, what's funny is that's also a big problem with Pic Fed too. A lot of people, they book these dream matches with no substance to them, you know, and it's like what happens afterwards is like, oh, we don't know. It was just, I just thought it was a cool match. It's like, well, you want people to like continue to watch, right? You want people to watch for the next show. Right. So like people love to rely on dream matches just for the sake of dream matches to try and sell, well, I mean, figuratively sell tickets to their fucking show. And it doesn't work. Or at least like for me, in my experience, it doesn't work. Like everything has to happen for a reason. Like you just can't have, I don't know, what's a dream match, you know, Pentagon versus Raven, right? In a death match. And then that happens. It was like, oh, why are they fighting? Oh, because I just thought it would be cool if Raven and Pentagon fight. Well, that's so lame, dude. Like, come on, we got to think out more outside the box here. You know?
That was my whole thing for starting the Fed the way I started my Fed was because, like, I started my Fed and then I was in the process of that, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, have you seen this Pic Fed?" And I was like, "Oh, there's like others out there, right?" So I would go and check those out. And I wouldn't know, it would just be pay-per-view to pay-per-view. And I would say, well, how do you really unravel stories just between pay-per-views? That was always my issue. Like, how do you create stories just
Plus they don't have commentary either. Like,
yeah, and
especially with a Pic Fed, how are you supposed to know the stories?
Mm-hmm. And there you go.
Yeah.
That was a big inspiration behind, you know, wanting, like, I was like, why are they fight or not inspiration behind like putting stories and stuff like that, because that's what I wanted to do before. But that was my biggest critique, I guess you could say.
Like, but as far as like the Finn Balor thing goes, like, yeah, my issue was with the turnbuckle as well, because one thing, it's like you did all of that, all the theatrics, all the effects, just to have them lose. Not only lose, but lose like that. Now, I get it. They couldn't have Roman lose to Finn, because if Roman fought Brock without the belt, it wouldn't have been as big. I get that. But it's like, you know, Nathan said this the other day. It's like I guess like the underlying problem is that they booked the Demon to fight Roman in the first place.
Yes.
You know, like that was trash.
If you have no like plan, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like I called up actually Luke called me out of the blue this past few hours ago. Kind of surprising. But we were talking about that, and I think I came up with like the perfect solution. Well, not the perfect solution, but like a way to make the Demon lose but still make him look like a fucking beast, right?
Sweet. Let's hear it.
So I would have actually kept the turnbuckle, but the turnbuckle wasn't the thing that did him in. Like, okay, so let's say, picture this: Finn Balor is on the top of the turnbuckle. It breaks. He falls down. The lights go back to normal, right? And then he's like confused. He's stunned. Roman Reigns, spear, right? Boom. 1, 2, still kicks out. Roman Reigns like, oh my God, what the hell? He's freaking out. So he has no choice but to try and get the guillotine. The guillotine's locked in. Guillotine's locked in. He's trying to choke him out, but Finn Balor's like rabid right now. He's still going. And then you can do this thing where like the lights are still like flickering to red and shit. And it's just crazy. And it's like crazy because the Demon's still there. The Demon's still alive. The Demon's still alive. And then the Demon lifts Roman Reigns up. Right. And like you said, the Finn Balor, he's smaller than Roman Reigns. But how impressive would it have been if fucking Finn Balor lifted him up with the Demon look in his eyes, and then the red lights come back on and everything is going crazy. Everyone's going crazy. They're just like, oh, Demon's fighting off Roman Reigns' guillotine. No one's ever done that other than Drew McIntyre, but still he passed out. The Demon's not passing out. He's not nobody's bitch. And then the Usos come in. Super kick from Jay. Does nothing. super kick from Jimmy, does nothing. Double super kick, double super kick, double super kick. They're just fucking freaking out here until the demon finally fades away. And then, like, that's how he loses. It took all of that to take down the demon. You know what I'm saying?
I would be like, I think that sounds super badass with the like heat, but I don't know. The turnbuckle still wouldn't even have to be used though. You don't even have to use the turnbuckle.
Well, that's like the turning point of that. You know, like if the turnbuckle didn't break, Finn Balor would have won, unless like Jey Uso and Jimmy, they pushed him off. But that, you know, you'd be expecting that. You know, I feel like the turnbuckle breaking, yes, it was stupid. I would have much preferred if they'd done something to the turnbuckle prior. Like,
yeah, I think that's where the illogical part comes in. It was so random. Like if they had something that built to that, or a moment in the match where maybe Roman strikes the corner.
It was just supposed to be a freak accident, pretty much.
And like, yeah, I understand that, but
it's like just, what a coinky dink moment.
Yeah,
yeah, like something
that
out of his
me
control.
Made more
like nobody
sense,
screwed
though.
No, but the thing is, with that, they don't want to set up a rematch. They don't want to have any reason to set up a rematch. So nobody could have rigged the turnbuckle because they're trying to move on to Brock Lesnar.
What were you saying, Luke?
But the whole turnbuckle thing actually made more sense than like the lights turning red and his music playing and fog coming out everywhere. Like,
I mean, yeah, I agree with
from
that.
a realistic standpoint.
That was super random too, but we're supposed to be meeting him halfway. We're believing this is a different character than Finn Balor and just body paint. So we've already kind of skipped over the whole, you know, like we understand that he's like the Undertaker. He's kind of supernatural. He can do some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I don't know, the way they did it kind of just made the demon look like a fucking chump. Pretty much.
I just think it's weird because this is what I said in my video. It's like so that's like literally you walking out of say it's 3 a.m. You walk out of your room, you're trying to go, you know, to the fridge. You look across the room and you see this demon and you're like, oh my, and he looks scary as hell and you look like you're going to die. But he comes to attack you and he trips over the rug and snaps his neck to the floor. And you're like, oh.
Well, that happened.
Well, he's dead.
That's actually an awesome comparison.
Because like, why earthly shit can hurt him. So then it's like, it just kind of defeats the whole deal. If a freak thing like that can throw him off, it's like, well, what's the point?
See,
is he supposed to be invincible then? Like that's the thing also.
Not necessarily.
It's like how I did it. Like it literally took all that shit to take him down. Like the super kicks, the guillotines, the spears, all that shit.
At least have him, like you said, he should have took 2 or 3 spears or took in something, or maybe the Usos putting something or like weighing him down where he's like convulsing, but he still gets the pin or something, or I don't know. They could have done something, but that's the whole point is you're literally booking yourself into a corner when you do crazy shit like that.
And it's also like my buddy AWF with Bo Dallas. You know how Bo Dallas like literally kicked out of every conceivable thing that Drew McIntyre did and Dolph Ziggler did and Jericho did in that show. So I'm like, what an possible any earth imaginable is Chris Jericho gonna do to take Bo Dallas down? Bo Dallas is
that's how he kicks out of too. He just believes.
So like, why does he? Why do we have any reason to think he's going to lose at Mania?
And that'll get super repetitive too if it's just like his gimmick is like kicking out of everything.
Yeah,
like then it's just the same match every time.
Yeah.
It
has to be like a certain, like, I don't know, because the way I did it, like with my Devil's Playground or the three stages of hell match between G-Man and Pentagon, G-Man kicked out a lot. But the reason why is because of the story. G-Man has just been like in pain and physical and emotional pain because of Pentagon. And he finally has this one chance to get back of anything. And he's not going to give that up for anything above all else. And this is like the only time he would ever do that. Like in any other circumstances, you know, he probably wouldn't have kicked out of all that. But this is bloodlust. This is anger.
And that's the whole thing is like when a match means more to you, it's kind of like, you know, you're digging that more inch deeper because of the
it's like an anime power up pretty much.
Yeah. And then you have what I was going to say is like, if you were going to book a character that way with like kicking out or whatever, maybe like if, you know, he gets this opportunity, you could change the match stipulation to, you know, well, you can't kick out. That's not how you win. You have to climb the ladder. And that's way different than just kicking out. You know, you could like play with that.
Yeah.
Change the gimmick and change the stipulation to where it's like, okay, well, it's only submission or, you know.
A 3 stages of hell would have worked well for Roman and Demon Finn Balor. Then they could have like the last 4 be like a ladder match.
I don't know. I feel like 3 stages of hell needs to feel more special than that because like the Roman Reigns
needs to be built up more.
Yeah, like because the Roman Reigns Balor feud was nothing pretty much. Like it was just Balor saying, "I challenge you."
3 stages of hell would be like, honestly, I mean, Brock and Roman could be 3 stages of hell with their history, like something like that. Like it needs
that would make much more sense. You know. Like if they like, I don't know if Finn Balor ever to come back and stuff, and they were to like really get like in a feud, like a blood feud, then maybe 3 stages of hell, like really bad, like really bad 3 stages of hell.
Spoiler, that's the main event. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing 3 stages of hell.
What do you mean
for Damnation?
Yeah, Kenny and Finn, 3 stages of hell.
Well,
we're just big scoop here.
Just big, just lay it all out.
You're doing a WWE, just throwing it out there.
Well, I'll say anybody that's listening, just keep it under wraps. That way, I'll know who the true fans are that listened. You know, whoever watches this, you're a true fan.
That's true.
Either that, or I just edit that whole fucking thing out.
Yeah, you can if you want to. I wanted to tell you guys though, so you don't think I got that idea on the pot. No, that's literally my idea. So if you want to edit it out, you can. But that was my idea.
I don't know. Will Danny edit it out? Who knows? You only have to find out.
Well, if he didn't edit it out, then all the true fans that stayed not only this deep into the podcast, but the people that pay attention to the Fed and care about it, then don't spoil it. Let that be your little special secret.
Just between us and you. Yeah, I mean, like, I just hope Finn Balor isn't buried now, like, for a long time. I don't know what he's gonna do next.
I mean, honestly, that was like a write-off TV fucking like C and AEW type shit. The way they ended that, honestly, that's what it felt like.
Is this contract coming up?
Prince Devitt is all elite.
I think it is.
Is it?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Now they would have fully squashed him if they cared. If he was going out.
Here's the thing, though. If Finn Balor was to go to anywhere, I think he'd go to New Japan.
Maybe.
I think I'd rather see that than AEW.
Well, I don't think he could fit in AEW right now, bro. There's just too much shit going on.
Yeah, and they don't know what to do with it. I'm gonna be honest with you. They don't know what to do with all their talent. They have CM Punk fight Hobbs. Like that was a match we really wanted to see.
I didn't even watch that. I haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm. Andrade dead on arrival, pretty much. Like
he's not like a big main event star or anything.
I was really excited to see him, but then whatever happened, I don't know.
You know what would help them? Honestly, I think what they need to do
is stop listening to the fans. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Because maybe the fans want stupid shit and they're going to get it. And it just kills the momentum of everything.
Like, they need to, I know this is like the formula, right? But like, this is the coolest way to do it. They need to have Dynamite and Rampage do a fucking draft, split up the roster, and then do a 2-hour show on both sides and like make it like the WWE early 2000s formula with all that fucking talent they have, man. That's the way to do it. I think that would be fucking
I don't know if you want to split up all that talent because then like really limits all the feuds and stuff. I don't think they have that much talent where they can like get away with doing that.
They fucking WWE had plenty of good feuds on each brand.
I feel like it'd be better if they didn't have a brand split.
You can't blow your load so early. You know, you got to make this thing last. So you could split the draft, and then after That's another thing they're missing too. I would have some big show. I know they have their big shows. Don't get me wrong. Like people,
Yeah,
know.
they really need a big show.
They need a
work towards.
massive show, like
something that requires a different stage, maybe.
Yeah.
a grand finale.
Oh,
A grand
dude,
finale.
they
is what
said it'd be
need.
different than WWE. They're doing the same stage all the time.
Yeah, they
Like
need,
that's exactly what WWE does.
At
So-
this point, that whole promise is dead. And like they don't even hold them up to that because they abandoned that a long time ago.
Yeah.
They abandoned that when they made Snoop Dogg do that shit. All right. That's when they
Yeah.
really abandoned that stigma of, oh, we're gonna be different than WWE. This is pro wrestling, not sports entertainment. I'm so fucking sick of that shit. That
Yeah.
argument about, oh, AEW is pro wrestling and not sports entertainment. Yes, it is. All right, it's sports entertainment. All right, it's
Yeah.
sports entertainment because they do stupid shit too. All right.
New Japan is pro wrestling.
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I would say that too. They definitely have their. They're definitely not perfect by any means. And
How many times is Moxley gonna beat the shit out of Suzuki?
Dude,
Like,
dude, that hardcore match was trash, bro. What the hell is
Yeah.
that?
I haven't
What-
seen it yet. Was it on Rampage?
Oh my god, it's the
Yeah.
sloppiest thing I've ever seen,
you
man.
had Eddie Kingston just smack the shit
Doing
out of
those
a trash can.
Little
Little
slaps.
kendo stick.
Like, what the hell is that? It's like slapping his chest,
And
like it's burping a baby. Like,
and
what the
that-
hell is
and
this?
the fucking funniest thing is that's the thing that won the match.
Bro.
That was the last spot that really did Lance Archer in. Remember when Lance Archer was supposed to be like a fucking monster? Like
Yeah,
that
Wasn't he a
almost
baby
In
killed
New
face
people.
too?
Japan, he
Why
actually
is he a
had some
heel?
really great matches.
wasn't he a
Mhm.
babyface like just a couple of weeks ago? Now as a heel, like, what is this?
I mean, yeah,
Like,
I mean,
where's
they
the
did the same
consistency?
thing. They did the same thing with the Young Bucks. Remember when the Young Bucks joined Kenny and they turned heel? And then
Yeah.
they turned babyface just to fight MJF and Chris Jericho, and then they turned back into heels as if we were supposed to be excited about that. Like, no,
They
I'm
did.
not stupid.
They just need to bring back Lance Hoyt.
Lance Hoyt.
And did you see Suzuki like biting Moxley? He went and did that so many times. Just punch the man in the face. It's going to do more damage than biting his head.
See,
Like,
this is
come
why
on now.
this is why I
It looks
idolize
so
a guy.
stupid.
This is why I idolize a guy like Mil Muertes because he bit people and he spit their blood out, but he didn't do it like all the time. He did it in a play.
You do it
point in the
once for
match.
effect. You don't do
Yes.
it multiple times. It just becomes tired and looks silly.
Mhm.
Like that was
And-
dumb.
Yeah, and
I haven't even. Was this on Rampage? I didn't even watch Rampage.
Yeah,
yet.
Rampage.
It was on Rampage.
I'm gonna have to go back. I record Rampage and Dynamite and try to.
You know this shit's lame when the most pop worthy thing on Rampage was CM Punk wearing trunks. That was the most pop worthy thing on that whole.
That was a
night.
big deal, though. To be fair,
I know it was, but like,
Mm.
yeah, no more tights, please. That thing
Yeah.
was garbage. But you know, he's his own man. He can wear whatever the fuck he wants, but that doesn't stop it.
I'm
from
glad
being
he. I'm
trash.
glad he went back for
Yeah.
sure.
Mm-hmm. But now it's like I don't know.
But it's not like that any of his matches or one of the two so far has been that great, to be honest.
Yeah.
his
They've
match
been,
with
like,
Darby
boring.
Allin was pretty good, but it wasn't.
I like
the
Darby
7
Allin's match,
second-
but yeah, it wasn't anything over the top. But I think
Yeah.
that's what not WWE. That's what AEW's missing, man. They need some sort of massive, like you have All Out, you have Double or Nothing, but you need like a
All
They
Out
need a
needs to be
WrestleMania,
all,
man.
all Out needs to be the WrestleMania of AEW.
yeah, because it's called All Out. Like it makes sense. Make it
They're
fucking
going
yeah.
all out.
Yeah.
Yeah. They clearly
And don't
they
get me
didn't
wrong,
go
they-
all out with the fucking stage and shit and on the venue, but apparently they went all out with the debuts, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, they went all out.
in one way or another. But, you know, that's all fine and dandy. We can sit here all day just shitting on AEW and WWE and some pick feds, but you know, I guess that's me. People miss my reviews. Actually, I don't know. Leave down in the comments. Do you think Danny Meltzer should go back to doing pick fed reviews? You know, because that's
Yeah.
kind of like how I. It's kind of like how I got my start in this whole community, but that's up for you guys. But speaking of community and the pick fed and the big dogs and pick feds and all that junk, Nathan, I hear that you have a big announcement to make here and now on this episode of Talking Feds.
Well, yes, I do. we saw War Games, WSC War Games, the first ever Saturday premiered live, 3,000 fans. Awesome time, one of my favorite matches of the year. And the fans were very shocked and very sad to see that the Shield lost to the Wyatt family, who took all the championships. So next week, hopefully, I'm trying to film it, but next week we have a big rematch. But this time it's going to be big. It's going to be massive because WARZONE is back, and WARZONE is new and improved. It is where the ring is in the arena. It's not up on the stage. It's where the ring is supposed to be. It's filled with weapons this time around. And basically, yeah, as always, you got to go grab the championships from the top. But this time, when the bell rings, 8 minutes. You have 8 minutes to go get the championships, or else if you do not get the championships and leave, well, in general, 8 minutes, once that's up, the whole thing is going to explode.
What?
Yeah.
Let's go.
If they don't get out of there, it's going to be real bad for the superstars. But it's a race against time to get the championships. Get the hell out of Dodge, because this thing, it's about to blow. It's going to be nuts.
Oh my God, we are going to literally murder people on this show. You guys better not miss this video.
It gets crazier and crazier.
You better not miss this video, guys. I swear to God, if you miss this video, I'm going to come around and slap you all in the mouth, because this is raising the stakes like no one's ever done before.
It's life or death, man.
Life
How bad do you want those
or
titles?
death. And that means, does the whole building explode?
No, just the WARZONE. We want to keep the fans safe. But I'm definitely not sitting around ringside for this. I'm getting the hell out of Dutch.
Oh boy, because I was about to say, if the whole building explodes, that's a terrorist attack.
we got to ensure the safety of our fans. But that WARZONE, if anyone is in the near vicinity of that, boom, they're done.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
Let's hope that everyone gets out safe, but there could be some casualties. It's a race against time.
I'm hoping not. I want to see death. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'd like, come on, man. Things have been kind of too cookie cutter for me lately, and then this one, no one's dying, everyone's coming back. I want to see real stakes to this. Okay,
has there been any death?
The stakes are as high.
History?
Huh?
have there been any death in Pic Fed history?
I mean, almost. I mean, Aleister Black almost died. He just woke up from the coma last week.
Right.
Mil Muertes pretty much.
That was the closest, I think. So.
Mil Muertes pretty much just made Dean Ambrose a paralyzed man in a vegetative state, if you will. Throwback to the
fair. To be fair, Finn Balor's been dead for like 4 years. So.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, but the ghost of Finn Balor still haunts the cleaner, huh? So yeah, just shout out to that spot in the video still. I love that, by the way. Again. But with that spectacular news, I think it's time to wrap things up, guys. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, let's
But before we do, it's time to answer a lucky question from a lucky fan from last week's episode of Talking Feds. Wouldn't you guys agree? Let's see here. This lucky contestant on the Talking Feds mailbox, I guess, which we're going to call it. We'll workshop it. Anyway, this question has been made by one subject 4. Question for next episode, which is this episode. What lesser used or rarely used match type, for example, the Punjabi prison, backstage brawl, triple cage match, etc., would you all be willing to do in your Pic Fed? I would love to see Jinder Mahal versus whoever is the WSC champ in the Punjabi prison match. Also, thanks to you guys for making amazing content that has helped so many people like myself through all the stress of the pandemic. Well, thank you, Subject 4. We really appreciate the kind words. Our pleasure. We live to please our fans. But speaking of, let's answer that question, starting with Trey.
All right, so I would be honestly open to any match type if, given the story or given, if it made sense logically. And I'm down for anything. One doesn't necessarily come to my brain. I've thought about doing a triple cage before. I've thought about doing, wacky, out of the box stuff. I want to try everything, in a Pic Fed sense. So I'd be open to doing anything. As far as what match type that is specifically, I haven't spent too much time on it, but I think a buried alive match would be really fun and something I'd like to do. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
yeah,
I would
buried
love
alive
to do.
match.
I've always thought of doing it, and yeah, I would love to do that.
Yeah, there's not been a lot of like buried alive matches. There's been casket matches. There's been casket matches or coffin matches, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
I did
There
a
hasn't-
buried alive
I
very
did
far
one.
back.
You did?
Yeah.
With who?
It was Undertaker and Brock Lesnar. It was when I first started. I mean, maybe some of you guys remember it. Like I filmed it on like our terrace, like overlooking the sea. That SummerSlam.
Nice.
It was
That's something I'm gonna
probably
have to go watch. I'm gonna have to go check that out. I don't think I've ever seen that.
yeah. It was. I mean, the show itself was terrible, but it was SummerSlam 2013, so it was a long time ago. And yeah, I filmed the show on our terrace, and next to it was like our garden with grass, so I had a little bit of a buried alive match there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess there's some other candidates too. Like, what's another one? I think. What about that one that I think is a very lame concept? If I'm really being honest, with it's like you have to wrestle the guy and you're strapped to them, and you have to touch each corner of the.
Oh
of the
yeah,
ring.
bull rope match.
That's so
Yeah.
lame. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It is
really
lame, but that match, the JBL Eddie Guerrero one, was slap titties.
Yeah,
I might have
where
to go
they
back and
just
watch that. I
bled
guess.
and bled and bled and bled.
Oh, that's the
How about
infamous
Cody and QT Marshall?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Fuck no. All right, that never happened. Okay, that never happened. And if all things good and holy are actually true, that match never happened. Okay, any QT Marshall match never happened for the good of the sake of the fucking pro wrestling universe. Okay, QT Marshall is literally one of the most nothing people in all of professional wrestling. So I would appreciate it if that man's name, that you know what, that dude is Lord Voldemort. Okay, don't say his name. Don't say it. Or Lord Moldy Butt, if you really want to get like really nostalgic, and all the real ones out there watching this, if you know that reference. But as far as that goes,
a thing on top of this question I want to ask is: have you guys ever thought of doing a cinematic match? I've done 2, and they were a lot of fun. Just want to know what you guys think about it.
I thought of a few ideas. There's a certain cinematic match I kind of wanted to do. I won't say it here because who knows? I'm
definitely not done with them.
Yeah, I might actually get down to do it one of these days. I am back to trying to film for stuff. By the way, first episode of FAW/SWE is really close to being done, guys. So be expecting that sometime in October. So yeah, stay tuned for that.
Great.
But as far as cinematic
Trey,
matches
Luke?
go,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, cinematic for me, definitely no.
Definitely not. Just not a fan
the
of
way
like
you said that was so misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like I kind of prefer wrestling if it's like
Wrestling.
I know it's not real, but if it's treated like a sport, and a cinematic one just doesn't
because
fit
you
in that.
don't like movies in general anyway, so
Yeah,
it'd be
You
like
will hate Lucha Underground. That sucks.
So do you hate? You don't like? You probably don't care for the Finn Balor Kenny Omega stuff. Then you're probably like, this is dumb as shit.
well, it's cool because it's like with the figures and stuff like that, and it's unique. But I also enjoyed watching Nathan's cinematic matches, but this is just something that I don't see fit in GCW, and I would not want to have in GCW. But yeah, I mean, I can definitely appreciate the effort.
Is it because like you're trying to model like GCW after like New Japan, like how they treat their
I mean,
stuff?
not 100%, but like closer to that. Yeah,
For the most part.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
can dig that.
I'd still do stipulation matches, like weapon matches and stuff like that, which New Japan rarely does. So I do different things, but
when they do stipulation matches, it's kind of lame. I'm gonna be honest. Like I remember watching like Wasn't like Suzuki and Moxley the first time they fought? That was like a no disqualification.
Yeah.
Because they just ran up the ramp and started hitting each other with chairs and shit. Like that was kind of lame. Honestly, that whole match was kind of like mid up until the end, where everyone started going crazy when Moxley was just clotheslining the shit out of Suzuki, and Suzuki just wobbled and everything, and that was crazy.
Well,
but since then,
Kenny Omega and Michael Elgin had a really good ladder match that I do remember.
Ladder match in New Japan. Wow.
Yeah, that was the first
Cody
ever
and
ladder match.
Cody and Kenny had one too, right?
A ladder match?
I think so. Or like I remember Kenny
superplexing
him
like
off a ladder.
G1 Super card in the US. I think they did like a extreme match, but it wasn't a ladder match. But I think Cody did the superplex from the ladder to the outside through tables that I remember. But I don't think it was a ladder match.
Probably not. Yeah, ladder match you have to climb up and get something, right? So there was really nothing to get, I guess, unless it was for the IWGP Championship.
Yeah.
Who's the champion?
And
again?
I mean, in like the bigger matches, New Japan kind of gives the wrestlers leeway to like use a table or something like that. You know, they always come with it.
You know what's funny? So did Lucha Underground. Lucha Underground, when it was for the world title, it was kind of like anything goes. There must be a winner. That was the stipulation. You know,
they always explain it with like, oh, the referee is not going to, stop this main event match that all the people came for. For using like a table or whatever. They're gonna let it slip.
Anything else on that matter on the rarely used, kind of more obscure matches, but also crazy ones?
I mean,
I've pretty much done a lot of them. So, I mean, the Buried Alive, Triple Cage sounds like that'd be nuts, but also sounds tricky to film. Punjabi Prison.
You already
Is the Triple Cage an actual wrestling match, or is that?
Yeah,
WCW, I think WCW. Yeah, that thing was. I don't know. That thing looks stupid to me.
Punjabi Prison. I'm not sure where it'd fit in WSC, but yeah, that's just my take on it. I'm always open to anything though.
Yeah. There's just a ton to pick from. Like a backstage brawl. Usually that's the thing I've done that only usually that's the thing that was only like in video games, like backstage brawls. I don't think they exist in real life. Like I don't think there's an actual like match that starts backstage and you have to fight backstage and you don't go in the ring.
Yeah.
I did that with the parking lot brawl. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They need to make a play set for that. AEW should make that.
I don't know how they
fun.
would.
Like creating like my own parking lot. To me, it looked pretty good as like a parking lot. I thought it looked pretty decent. I wish I had more cars.
I don't know how they would make a play set like that.
Just like a road and just some backgrounds and maybe like a car or two.
I mean, you could include
like
a couple cars. You could include, like a road, like some road signs, a barricade that's breakaway, a table, a chair.
Yeah.
Taking notes there, Jeremy. That could be a great ringside exclusive.
I mean, like, who wouldn't drop? Would you drop $100 on a really, like the Slammobile is what, 20-25? Like you could include two of those in $100 play set and then put in more accessories, maybe even a
figure.
Yeah, you could even include a basic, maybe.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah.
We need the exploding barbed wire deathmatch play set.
I don't know how that would
I
work.
don't know how that. That'd be so cool if they could make some mini explosions that aren't harmful.
No, it's not.
That'd be so dope.
No, maybe not even that. It's like maybe like the corners, the sides of the ring have like little lights, and whenever the figure makes contact with the rope and the barbed wire, the lights go on, as if it's like
they should be like little smoke bombs. That'd be really cool.
Maybe like little,
just some like non-harmful smoke bombs,
like vapor, like water.
Yeah.
That stuff. That what,
that'd be
man?
crazy.
You know what? Yeah. Let's hope the executives who make these toys are listening right now, because that sounds like something buddy. I would.
We'll get it.
Yeah, we'll make you loads of money. Well, that's the new crowdfunded thing that could be the crowdfunded thing for AEW. Explosion barbed wire deathmatch playset. They already got like the 2-pack with the Kenny and stuff that it's kind of useless, honestly. But yeah, they could just do that. Yeah. That could be like a crowdfunded thing for AEW Jazzwares, and I just got a loud ass notification for what? A copyright claim. Anyway, let's
coming after you too, huh?
What is it for?
It is for the thing I showed you today, Luke. Regarding,
but that's not a surprise though.
Yeah, it's not. But anyway, while I try and like figure out what to do there, I think we're gonna bid you all adieu for now. Okay, and also, I think it's time to make this announcement regarding this show. We're not canceling it. We're not stopping. Okay, so don't worry. But there is going to be a little bit of a change. Not too major, but what I'm going to say is don't get your hopes up on these things coming out every week from now on. Okay, if they do, they do. If they don't freak out. This series is still going. But, you know, sometimes we just need a breather, like my buddy Luke here. And I haven't slept in like 12 hours. So, yeah, just cut us some slack. We'll still be here to deliver. We'll still be here to answer your questions. We'll still be here for you guys. All right. But with that said, I think it's time to sign off. Who's going to sign off? Who's the lucky sign-offer guy here? I think it's Nathan.
All righty. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye-bye.
Peace.